Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is March 20th, and right now we are looking at the infrared/visible satellite imagery. You can see the marine layer button up against the coastal areas here, trying to sneak into Southern California, the Los Angeles metro, San Diego, but much of the area here under some nice sunny skies, not as foggy this morning as versus yesterday across some of the Bay Area. You can see the nice snow-capped Sierra Nevada out there on the GOES 18 satellite imagery as well. If we take a look here at what happened yesterday, we did kick off some thunderstorms. So if I go through the afternoon hours, you can see them fire up there across some of the transverse ranges up into the southern Sierra Nevada here. You can see this bubbling up. I didn't see any lightning strikes here across peninsular ranges, but it was popping off a couple showers. Most of that lightning was across Arizona, but we did get a few thunderstorms across California yesterday. And then we might kick one or two more showers off, maybe a lightning strike or two across California here again today. We'll look at that and some detail on the weather models here in a moment. Spring equinox occurred yesterday evening, and you can see the sun's rays. We were at 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of sunlight, actually, for most of the planet here, but now we're starting to sneak into more daylight versus nighttime here for the northern hemisphere. So, yeah, definitely like this time of year as we start to keep things lighter for longer. Here's Northwest California rainfall forecast with our next frontal system. Will be arriving on Friday morning. You can see Shelter Cove up towards 1.5 inches, Crescent City getting some precip as well. This is going to bring some mountain snows also. Snows are going to start 5,500 to 7,000 feet. Donner Peak is at about 7,300 feet, the pass there. So there is going to be some impacts on I-80. So be prepared for the slick roads there and chain controls. This is for Friday through Sunday, March 22nd through 24th. And you can see the snow levels kind of dropping back down as we go on into the day Sunday. Now, look at a composite reflectivity on the HER 3KM. I want to show you what could possibly happen today. So you can see maybe a few thunderstorms here across Arizona. You can't rule out another one popping off across some of the Sierra Nevada, southern Sierra Nevada especially, and maybe down across some of the transverse ranges here. But yeah, maybe one or two of them here. It's probably much more isolated than it's been in previous days. And then we start to turn our eyes to the next frontal system rolling in here. You can see it approaching the northwest California coastline. And this is going to swoop down much of the state here. I'll show you what the European and the GFS have to say on that here in a moment. But day one thunderstorm outlook, they don't have it here for California, but don't completely let your guard down. You might get a thunderstorm or two there today. Now, looking at 500 millibars, 18,000 feet. Let's put this into motion, and you'll see the arrival of our next system as we go on into the day Friday, swooping down across Southern California. It's going to lose a bit of its punch as it moves south, but this is a pretty chilly upper level low. It could bring some pretty cold temperatures and some snow for the higher terrain, even to Southern California, and a decent round of snow for the Sierra Nevada. And then we got an inside slider coming down here as we go through early next week. Ridge tries to build a bit here. I'll show you the extended forecast here in a moment because the European wants to keep things active on through our future. Now, looking at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right, here's the state of California. We're looking at 6-hour precipitation. So here goes our frontal system. Friday morning, pretty good model agreement there. It's going to move down across the Bay Area as we go through the day Friday night, Central Coast, down through Southern California. And again, you can kind of see how the precipitation continues on as we go on in through Saturday night into Sunday morning. Some showers around, a much colder air mass taking up a residence here over some of the southwest. And this is going to include much of the state of California at times as we go on in through the weekend. And then as we go through the early portion of next week, a little bit of a break, kind of a weak system over the top of that, kind of an inside slider. And then we look off into the extended forecast as the European wants to bring another strong frontal system in here. The GFS has a frontal system. It's much weaker though, but look at that system. Pretty dynamic storm for the end of March here for California, but we'll continue to watch that day by day. You can see the GFS is having nothing to do with that pretty strong system here across California as we go on into the early portion of April. Now, looking at 850 millibar, if I put this into motion, you can see that kind of the semblance of that colder air aloft across Arizona, finally getting out of the region here. And then we bring our next system in here as we go through the day Friday, and you can see the much chillier air mass taking up residence here across much of the state of California. Then we get a little bit of a break here again, and then the European, like I showed you, wants to keep things active through the extended with another powerful frontal system here. We'll break that down day by day, purely fantasy at that point, not worth getting caught up in those details or getting worried about that storm system just yet. But in the meantime, we do have some mountain snows coming here. So as we go through the day Friday, see it piling up across the Klamath Range, Cascades getting a bit of snow, Sierra Nevada getting a nice round of snowfall here as we go through the day Sunday, and then that one wraps up. And then we bring an inside slider. It might bring a little bit more snowfall here as we go through the early portion of next week here, but we'll watch that one. The main system here, though, is going to bring a round of heavy snow at times for some of the Sierra Nevada. Not too crazy compared to last year and what we've been getting at times this year, but you'll notice it, and it might have some impacts across some of the higher passes out there and some of the higher roadways. So 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, much of the west, including central portions of the country, below average through March 29th. You can see the bullseye for precipitation here as well as we go on in through March 29th, 8 to 14 day below average, and you can see the above average signal here across much of the west as well, all the way through April 2nd. And Drought Monitor, California doing well, just a couple abnormally dry areas, but just kind of an amazing thing. We're probably taking it for granted at this point because it's highly unusual when you get California just completely drought free like this, and it's been like that for some time now. So hopefully we can keep that streak going. Arizona and New Mexico not doing quite as well, but hopefully these systems can help out their drought concerns also. Here's the day 3 through 7 hazard outlook, of course, as we go on into the upcoming days. Got the heavy snow threat across some of the Sierra Nevada, and it could continue on through the end of the month. We might get another system in here. We'll continue to watch that, just an experimental product by the National Weather Service here. So anyway, yeah, get out there and enjoy that sunshine today. We got that system's probably going to hold off until sometime on the Friday morning time frame across Northwest California. It'll move down the state, probably be impacting the Bay Area as we go through the afternoon hours, just probably afternoon at some point. And again, a nice round of snowfall coming for the Sierra Nevada. We are above average as far as the snowpack is concerned, so hopefully we can continue to build upon that. It's always good for spring and summer, and especially for, keeping forest fire activity to a minimum. But yeah, I hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. Oh, and by the way, if anybody's still watching the video here and not signed off yet, click on the link down below if you want to order a nice, affordable home weather station. I highly recommend it. It's got a lightning detection system with it. It stores all the data in the cloud. It's got a great smartphone app. So click on that link down below if you want to save 10% off on that. Otherwise, we'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.